eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on?
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light in our galaxy. Everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
Redacted.
I just came to the wrong screen. Here we go. We are not redacted. Welcome, guys. Thank you for being here. Happy Sunday to wherever you are around the world. I think we are Sunday worldwide right now. What a way to start the show, honestly. And, you know, actually, in a way, the last night of Reptile Week has been redacted, in a way. So, you know, I was going to finish off Reptile Week tonight with something that has been heavily recommended, or I should say requested. It's been heavily requested. And for those of you guys who watch the show regularly, you've probably seen a lot of people in the chat saying, Donald Marshall, you've got to look at Donald Marshall. Donald Marshall is answering everything that you're talking about. So I was going to wrap up Reptile Week with Donald Marshall. And honestly, I looked into him and I don't know. I don't know about Donald Marshall. I think, like, I was just going to play it anyway. I looked at it a little bit and I was just going to say, all right, we'll look into this together. But there was just something about it that I was just like, and I don't know, it could just be the way that I'm feeling, but I was just like, you know what? I don't know if I want to do this. I'm not totally convinced. And obviously, you know, we are talking about lizard people here, so it's pretty treacherous territory anyway. But there was just something about what the little that I did see of him that I was just like, I don't know about this just yet. We might do Donald Marshall eventually, but I don't think, I wasn't feeling it just yet. We'll see. I need a little bit more convincing, I think, with him. But what I will say that is interesting, and this nearly did push me over the edge to do it, was that he talks a lot about Tila Tequila, which is obviously relevant because, you know, we did the big Billy Corgan video, and that is apparently who he saw shapeshift, is Billy Corgan's shapeshifter story is Tila Tequila. And Donald Marshall talks a lot about Tila Tequila, and they've even had like conversations together. But I don't know. There was just something about him from the limited bit that I have seen that I wasn't fully sold on. So we'll see. To be confirmed, Donald Marshall. What I will say though is we are wrapping up Reptile Week with a movie night, and we are going to be watching the original V miniseries, which we've talked about a lot on the channel. This came out in 1983, and it is yet another fantastic documentary, I believe, about a group of non-humans that arrived on Earth, thought to help humanity, or, you know, came bearing gifts of some sort. But it turns out they're actually shape-shifting reptilians looking to take over the planet and enslave humanity. So yeah, a great documentary that I think we're going to dig into that one straight after this stream. So that'll be tonight. We'll have that playing in the movie theater. For anyone who isn't in Discord, the link is below. It's free. You don't have to pay. And you can just come join in on our movie theater, which will also has like a little text section where we can all chat and just hang out and talk shit while we're watching the movie. So they're always a lot of fun. So make sure you head to that link and check that out. But really, I wasn't feeling that tonight. Like I said, the Donald Marshall stuff. And I just felt like it has been a while since we just kind of hung out and talked and, you know, chewed the fat, shot the shit. So I think that's what we're really going to do tonight. I'll give you some sort of thoughts on Reptile Week if you guys want that, on just kind of like where I'm thinking with the whole reptile thing. But also just kind of like a little update with like where I'm at with what I've got going on at the moment with the channel. And I guess just a bit of a Q&A. I mean, it's, you know, it's Sunday night. We can do, the cool thing is we're all adults. We can do whatever we want. Okay. We don't have mum telling us what we have to do when we have to go to bed. We can do whatever the hell we want. And I will drink my peppermint tea to that. Suki is here. And the Suki Cam is sponsored by PROTON / Polarity. If you would like 23% off, of course, they are partnered with the channel. You can protect yourself with PROTON and support me at the same time. It's a win-win situation. Yes, this is pre-recorded. That is right, Lucas. This is pre-recorded. This is not live. I'm confirming this is pre-recorded to anyone in the chat who's curious. Rob says he's just a big kid. I think we all are, Rob. I think everyone here is an adult, but is kind of a big kid. And I think that's why we all vibe so well together, to be honest. Alberto Hernandez says, Age of Disclosure be a members-only live stream. I renew the day before the documentary. Okay, so I think you're talking about the fact how I've said I'm going to be streaming the Age of Disclosure for people. That's not going to be on YouTube. I would get in trouble for that. That is absolutely copyright in its highest form, actually. What we'll be doing for Age of Disclosure is we'll probably do... What I want to do is I want to work out when it's going to go live on Amazon. And if we can, if it's at a respectable time, I will live stream before that. So we'll have a little pregame, probably something like this, where we're just hanging out talking. Maybe we'll look at a few clips and a few of the people that are featuring in the show. And then we'll all go to Discord and I will stream it there. Because obviously, when you're on YouTube, you make money off ad revenue. So if I'm making ad revenue on someone else's movie, lawyers generally don't like that. But if we play it in Discord, no one's making money. We're all just hanging out watching a movie together. So that's all good. November 21st, yes, November 21st, but I guess trying to figure out when it goes live on Amazon, that will be the key. But if we can make it happen, we'll live stream first. If not, the day it comes out, we'll just stream it in Discord. And I'm looking forward to that. I think it'll be fun to watch something like that because I know everyone's really hanging out for it. Good morning, Maggie. How are you? Good morning to everyone else. It is always good morning, even though it's 9 p.m. It's always good morning, especially in Discord. Peachy, nice to see you here. I guess I'll give you guys some final thoughts on like where I'm at with the reptilian thing. You guys know that it's the one thing that fascinates me the most with the whole alien topic, right? And honestly, I think a big chunk of that is because it seems to be the one thing that people think is the most ridiculous. Like it's the most like, oh, that's so silly. But to me, it's all silly. Like, and you know, not that I don't believe in it, but like, I think it's hilarious that people can draw a line. That like we can talk about UFOs, greys, and insectoids, but like reptilians, it's like, okay, now you've really gone over the edge. Like that's funny to me, and I'm like, why is that? Why do we marginalize that? Why did Jason Sands say you can't talk about the reptilians in his Joe Rogan interview? Like, what is that about? And why is that the only alien species that seems to be depicted in some form in every ancient culture? Like, that's the one thing that I'm just stuck on. And that's why I'm fascinated by it, because I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's, and let's not mention that there are just a multitude of people saying they've seen people shapeshift into these things. So, look, I don't know if it's all real, but I think at the very least, there's something going on. There's definitely something going on. There's just too many people talking about it with similar stories that just seem to kind of line up. Josh, have you seen Jason Giorgiani on Jesse's latest podcast on the Nazis? I've seen a little bit of it. Not all of it, bro. That one was like 4 hours. I've had a lot going on, which we can get into. But yeah, it's been hard, man. It's hard to create, have a life outside of it, and keep up with all of the podcasts, especially when they're 4 hours long. Please, just give me the highlights. Give me the clips. Where's Red Panda? I just consume content through Red Panda because he just clips up the best bits. And that works well for me. Where there's smoke, there is fire. Exactly, Ra-Clark. And I believe in that. But it's just like, so, and you know, I definitely believe there's a fire. There's obviously a fire. What else is there? Like, what is the fire? I don't know. But I think there's definitely a fire. And that's why that's why I love to talk about it and dig into it with you guys. And that's why I don't really assign myself to a specific line of thinking, because it's just like, I just think I honestly think nobody really knows what the fuck is going on. I really don't think many people know what's going on. But when people are so sure of themselves, that's when I'm like, yeah, you're sus. How can you be so sure? I either think people who are so sure of things are either dumb, and I mean that respectfully. I really do mean that respectfully. And I mean that like they just don't understand that there is so much more life than what they can perceive with their single perspective. They just can't grasp that concept. And I think a lot of people can't grasp that. It takes a bit of like deep thinking to kind of realize that and understand the gravity of it. Yeah, I do mean that respectfully. I could just be an intellect issue. Zeitgeist, celebrating 4 months as a member, says, never grow up, it's a trap. Brother, put it on a t-shirt. Absolutely, dude. And I also think it's a choice. Like, in a sense of your mentality. I feel like as you get into your 20s and your 30s and older, you sort of feel like pressured to conform to what everyone else around you is doing. And it kind of makes you feel like, oh shit, I'm 30. You know, I should probably, even though I might want to do X, Y, and Z, I should probably try and get married and get a house and start having kids now because that's what everyone does. But it's like, but do you actually want to do that? Because I feel like some people just do it because they feel like that's what you're meant to do. And then they're like, hey, why am I depressed? Why am I depressed? Oh, it's because I've basically signed a lifetime contract into something that I didn't actually want to do. I just did it because I thought that's what I was meant to do. And, you know, most people my age are having kids or have kids or are getting married or are married. And I'm just out here like, yeah, but reptilians. I'm just out here like, I'm going to go to Bali for a few months and there might be reptilians here, by the way. And bro, I'm happy. Let me tell you, I'm fucking happy, dude. And maybe the people with kids and mortgages and shit are happy too. And that's good. Good for them. I wouldn't be, personally. That's just me, though. Everyone's different. And that's why you can't conform, because you might not be like that. You might be a little neurospicy, like most of us here. And when you are, that's when you just got to follow the gut. Listen to your intuition. Do what feels good. Yep. Eat cold pizza, sure. To be fair, cold pizza is fire. Well, how do we feel about that, chat? I would say there are certain pizzas that are actually better cold. Okay, maybe not better, but just as good. There are, and you know, I'm an olives and anchovies guy. Give me just like a good margarita, olives and anchovies, and I'll eat some. And be like, you know what? I'm going to put the rest in the fridge because I want to eat it cold tomorrow. So damn good. So damn good. I've actually got myself, some crackers and 3 olive dip to watch V after this. 3 olive dip, if you know, you know. That shit is fire. So Italian, bro. Hey, it is what it is, man. It runs in the blood. It runs in the blood. One thing I won't fuck with is sardines. Sardines. No, I will not be having sardines. Suki will. They're actually her favorite. You throw a few sardines on her biscuits and she will literally start bouncing. Extra cheese and anchovies on a pepperoni. Yep. I like your style, Daria. The Italian hands, yep. We do like to talk with our hands. It just feels better. Comes out more. Helps extract the emotion. You know what I mean? Yes, Suki can take one for the team, absolutely. But for her, she's living her best life. It's not even like taking one for the team for her. She wants to do it. No pizza on pineapple. I was talking with my brother yesterday, and we were talking about chili, chili and honey on pizza, and versus like chili oil. I'm all about the chili and honey, honestly. A good wood fire pizza with like some chili honey drizzle and some anchovies. Oh my God. I feel like if you're in our members section of the Discord, you'll understand this, but we talk about food way too much. We've had like 12-hour food conversations in the member section of our Discord. Just like snack reviews, snack discussion, and everyone just gets like so hungry. So by the way, if you're coming to hang out and watch the movie later, make sure you go get some snacks. Maybe just throw in some earphones, keep the conversation rolling, head to the store, maybe Uber Eats some snacks, because trust me, the food talk probably won't end here. So to try and shift the subject before I start making myself even hungrier, Kelly Hall says, dude, Vegemite and anchovies, you may be reptilian. I'm a reptilian with culture. I'm a cultured lizard, okay? We know what we like. And if you know, you know. If you know, you know. But each to their own, though. Each to their own. As long as we're all eating good, as long as we're all happy, as long as we've got our good snacks, you can't complain. You can't complain. I'm losing weight, staying away. I respect that, bro. That takes a strong mental. When people are talking snacks, there's snacks going around, you stay strong. I respect that. My man. 90s boy says, fuck, I'm hungry now. I'm sorry, bro. I am sorry. It is what it is. Josh Bartlett says, prosciutto pizza is the bomb. Polarity world trip. Yes, thank you for segueing me. Prosciutto pizza is bomb. Absolutely. And yeah, little world trip coming up. So I guess first of all, so you guys know, if you watched the video on my other channel where I kind of talked about this, going on a little world trip and eventually permanently somewhere overseas. And that is because where I am right now, this house is being sold. So like, other than what you can see here and like my bedroom, this house is empty. I'm living in an empty home pretty much, with Suki, of course. And that is because my dad headed out today. So he's gone overseas, and it was actually his birthday. It was my dad's birthday 2 days ago. And you know what? He helped me a lot in starting this channel. So, you know, being in this home, being back with my dad in my 30s, you know, obviously not the most ideal thing, right? Not the most thing that it's not the kind of thing you'd put like in your resume or like your Tinder bio, you know, 33 living with dad, not the most ideal situation. But you know what? If it wasn't for that, I would like to think I would have still made this channel, but my God, did he make it easier for me. So, you know what? It was his birthday 2 days ago. Can we get some, his name is Mark. Can we get some happy birthday, Mark, and some shout out to dad? Shout out to Josh's dad in the chat, and I'll send this over to him. He'll appreciate that. Because, yeah, you know, without having the pressure of like, shit, my rent is due, what am I going to do? I mean, I still had to pay rent, but, you know, it's dad. If we're a little short, if we're a little late, you know, there's flexibility there. So, you know, he was a massive help in getting this channel up and running and to where it is today. And now that this house is being sold, instead of, you know, going to find a rental or something, I'm going to head overseas too. And hopefully make some really cool content to show you guys, give you guys another perspective of the world. Because, I mean, you guys know I like traveling, right? I've talked about that a bit on the channel before, and I'm happy to talk about that and tell you guys some stories that I have. But on Polarity, we get into a lot of the weird shit. And a lot of it is kind of dark, right? It just kind of is. Even if it's UFOs, I really do think the reason why UFOs are covered up is not sunshine and rainbows. It's not because inside the special access programs, everyone's throwing daffodils and hugging and kissing each other and peace and love. No, I don't think so. I actually think it's quite fucked up. So really, everything we talk about on this channel has a pretty dark undertone, right? And, you know, I'm actually a pretty positive person, and I try to put a positive spin on all of those things when I can. And a big part of what I want to do with this other channel is kind of like show you guys the polarity of life and the world that we live in, and show you guys some really cool, interesting places, interesting people, and just, you know, shine a bit of light on the beautiful side of the world and beautiful people. And also kind of just stretch my wings a little bit in like a creative sense. I love doing this, and I really don't want this to stop. I think I'm going to try and continue doing like 3 live streams a week and some videos as well. So, you know, really not much will change. It might dial back a tiny bit, but it's definitely not going anywhere at all. But yeah, we're going to spread some wings on the other channel, and I'm really looking forward to doing that. And just having new experiences, showing people different ways that people live, different lifestyles, and just immersing myself in them. So I'm really excited to do that. And, you know, it's thanks to you guys with all the support that I'm able to. So huge shout out to you guys. And I guess in that as well, in that video, a big thing that there were a few people who were either maybe didn't watch the video fully, or just like watched a little bit, read some comments, and then formulated an opinion that was not actually based in reality about, like, people are saying like, I'm going to ditch my dog. I'll be honest, like the first couple of days I was like a little bit annoyed. I was like, bro, I'm not ditching my fucking dog. And I really wanted to make like a quick follow-up video to like clarify it. But then that kind of subsided, and I was like, no, retards are going to retard. Like, you know, you can't, I could make a video saying I'm donating $1 million to charity, I'm saving all the homeless, and some guy would be like, yeah, you're just doing it for clout. Like, you just can't please everyone. It's just the way it is, unfortunately, on the internet. So I am going to make a follow-up video though, but I'm not going to rush it. So what is going on with Suki? I guess I'll give you guys the quick run over, and maybe I'll like articulate myself a little bit better, because maybe I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and that maybe I didn't explain myself properly. Okay. So what is actually happening is we could say I'm going on a holiday, right? I'm going on a long holiday for about probably like 9 months, give or take. Let's just say, like, you know, the best part of a year. Within that time, I'll be back in Australia twice. So I'll get to come and see Suki. And what I was explaining in the video is that I need someone to look after Suki for those 10 months, because I don't want to ditch her, right? That's why you get people to look after your dog, because you want to keep them, okay? So that's what I was having trouble with doing. And when I made that video, I was literally just kind of venting my frustration, and, you know, it was tearing me up. Like, I'm excited for this. I'm super excited now because it's sorted. But prior to that, I was struggling to get excited, because I was just like, man, what am I going to do with my dog? Because I thought I had some people who were going to look after her. I thought I had it set, and then it all fell apart, and I couldn't find everyone. I couldn't find anyone. And so I just mentioned that in that video, and man, I got people from literally all over the world saying that they will help look after Suki for me, which is just amazing. And, you know, even people in America and like England saying they'll do it. And it, you know, I appreciate that greatly. But, you know, I would just take Suki with me if it was like that easy. You know what I mean? But also, like, I'm going to be traveling so much. So, like, I wouldn't want to put her in like a cargo bay of a crate every month or every 6 weeks that I'm flying. Like, that's kind of just dumb, not to mention how expensive it would be. And, you know, she'll be happier here. And I was lucky enough that I had more than one person from the town that I live in South Australia that reached out to me saying they would help. So last week, I think it was last week. Yeah. No, wait. Fuck, I don't even know anymore. Yes, it was last week. It's been a wild week. Last week, we went on a little road trip around Adelaide, meeting a bunch of you guys, which was honestly amazing. Beautiful people offering to look after Suki. And, you know, I went from being, what am I going to do with my dog, like while I'm away, to, oh my God, I now have to call people and say, thanks for the offer, but sorry, like I can only pick one person. You know what I mean? And the beautiful part of doing that was I got to pick somewhere that was like perfect for her. And you know, I won't name any names or anything like that. But you know, where she's going to be staying is like a dog paradise. I'll speak to them, and if they might let me get a few shots on their property just of Suki having a good time. And you know, basically they live on like multiple acres, and it's like out in sort of like countryside. And you know, I took Suki there with me, and she was just galloping around, bouncing, sniffing, just having the best time. You know, she's never had a backyard that size, close to that size in her whole life. And the people there were beautiful. It was honestly just like the most, just kind of like heartwarming day just to meet people who were offering to help me, people who have supported me for a long time, and to find such a perfect little place for Suki to chill out while I'm away. And we may even try to hook up like a little live stream at their house, so we might be able to get some footage of Suki out in the paddocks. Or maybe we'll just get a feed like this of her on her bed that we can like tap into for some live streams. Who knows? We might even get like a little Suki cam running in the Discord that people can like jump in and check on her video stream in the Discord. The opportunities are endless, but you know, the fact that this got sorted in the way that it did. And if you guys have seen that video, I said in that video that I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just trusting that the universe is going to help me out and it's going to come together. And it literally did. It literally did. The only other option that I had was basically paying like a professional dog sitter a rate that they were going to charge me basically the same as like their daily rate for like 10 months, which was just like disgustingly expensive. But up until that point, I was like, I don't know what the hell else I'm going to do. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I just think I'm going to have to try and pay this money. But yeah, the universe pulled through for us. So now I can just be excited. Now I'm just excited, and I am. Especially, you know, my dad headed out today. This house is empty. It's starting to feel pretty real. I've still got lots of things that like I need to tie up to like before that happens. But yeah, I'm excited. Got a lot of good stuff coming up. Alberto says, should have said Discord, but thank you, sir. No problem, man. Hopefully I'll see you there. Kelly Hall with $20. Thank you very much, Kelly. She says, happy birthday, Mark. Safe travels. Thank you for helping Josh give this to us all. I'll let him know, Kelly. Thank you very much. Boris with a little sticker. Thank you, Boris. Barbados gifted 20 memberships. Damn, that is a big one. Thank you very much, sir. That is 20 new weirdos to the pack. Let's get some love up in the chat, guys. And Ashwak says all the best. Celebrating 2 months as a member. My man, Ashwak. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's so many runs and poops. Yeah, she will be sprinting and pooping all over that place. I bet she can't wait. So she's going to be going there sometime this week just for a little sleepover. We're going to take her there for a couple of nights just to, you know, get a little bit familiar with the place, have a little sniff, mark her territory a little bit, and then we'll pick her up again. And then probably drop her off maybe like a few days out before I leave, just so I can, you know, have the house here to clean up and basically tie up all the loose ends. And then we're off. Then we are out. And, you know, I've even had people reaching out or who already live in Bali, you know, saying, let's link up. I'll take you here. I'll show you this. Like, it's just, I think because of how far Polarity has reached already around the world, this other channel is just going to, like, I think wherever I go, it feels like there's almost someone there that's going to be able to like show us somewhere cool, take us somewhere, give us the tips, give us the hookups. And I just think we're gonna see some really, really cool things together. Who are you going to Bali with, Josh? Me, myself, and I. All three of my personalities. So it's so I think, yeah, just to clarify that, at some point when the trip is done, the idea is on this sort of long journey to find somewhere that I want to settle more permanently. And then when I come back, I'm going to collect Suki and we're going to go there. Where that is, I don't know yet. But that's kind of the idea of this. And that's why I'm getting someone to look after her, because I'm not ditching my dog. I just need someone to look after her temporarily, figure out where we're headed, and then she's going to go in the cargo bay and we're going to head over. I'm kind of thinking Vietnam at this point, and that's purely because I feel like I want to be somewhere in Asia, somewhere where the culture is a bit more spiritually aligned, less consumerism, more family values. And Vietnam is like one of the only places that I sort of like the look of that also allows the importation of staffy breeds. I would have liked to have gone to Bali, honestly, because it is close to Australia and I love the health and wellness culture there. Because for anyone who doesn't know, like before I did visual effects, I was a coach, like a health and fitness coach for 7 years. So like I do value exercise and fitness, and I'm really planning to sort of go hard on that when I'm there because they have great facilities, like insane facilities. But they don't allow dog breeds like at all. You cannot import a dog to Bali. You're not allowed any dog. So that's kind of off the list. Thailand is a bit strict with it too, especially staffies. But Vietnam, they just like don't give a fuck. So yeah, I think that might be the likely end destination, but we'll see. We'll see. Cambodia's got some great ancient history. Yes, I definitely want to try and hit Angkor Wat at some point. And this is the thing as well. Like, you know, the other channel is going to be more just kind of like fun, interesting, travel, vloggy kind of stuff with my own kind of style and twist. And, you know, I've never done stuff like that before. It's like I said, I'm going to be spreading my wings. We might try a few styles of videos and until I find my groove on what I like doing and what people enjoy. But ultimately, I'm going to use these travels to also do, hopefully, in real life content for Polarity as well, i.e. going to Angkor Wat, going to, you know, famous places that relate to conspiracy, ufology, ancient history, alternative history, things like this. I think it'll add a cool element to this channel as well. Bali is dreamlike, beautiful. Yeah, it really is. And, you know, you get a lot of people say, like, Bali isn't what it used to be. Bali's changed. Like, I just think, I've been to Bali quite a lot, and I really like it. And, you know, I think you can... It's just like anything in life. It depends what you want to focus on. Yes, if you want to go to, like, Kuta or Seminyak and hang out with all the, like, 55-year-old dudes with beer bellies drinking bintangs, yeah, Bali probably does kind of suck. Or you could go to, like, you know, just outside of Canggu, get a nice little villa near the rice fields, spend your time doing ice baths and saunas and training and meditating and just enjoying the serenity. Bali's a very different place when you do that. So, you know, depends what you want to focus on, I think. Are you going to be vlogging along the way with the places you visit? Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what the point of the channel is. And I don't know what that'll look like. I don't know if it's going to be like one sort of like cinematic-y vlog a week, or if they'll just be kind of like, you know, like low effort, just kind of keeping you up to date, maybe both. I don't know. I'll probably just upload lots of different things and see what I like, see what sticks, and just kind of run with it. Kind of like I did with Polarity. I didn't really know what I was doing. I just thought like, oh, this will be cool. I'll just try this. And, you know, then you sort of get a feel for what people like and what you like, and then you just keep going. I heard Bali has really negative energy. Interesting. I've certainly not experienced that in the 5 times that I've been there. It's always been overwhelmingly positive. Not just positive, but like relaxing. And, you know, and it's interesting, right? Because Bali is very busy now and it is very touristy, especially, you know, in like Canggu and in Seminyak, in the touristy places. But it's so interesting that like their roads are so busy, especially in these areas, right? Like even on a scooter, you're stuck in traffic jams often. No one is angry though. No one's beeping at you. No one's flipping you off. No one's aggressive. There's no traffic lights either, especially not in these areas. Out near Denpasar, there you might get a few traffic lights, but like there's not really any road rules. Everyone, I say it's kind of like an ocean. The way the scooters work, it just flows like an ocean. Like people just find a way to work and it just works. And if you get cut off or if someone comes up behind you, no one's screaming at you. Everyone's just like, yep, all good. Just get out of your way, get on with the day. No one's angry, no one's tense. No one's rushing because their boss is going to yell at them because they're 5 minutes late to their job. It's just a different place. Are you worried that this will harm this channel? Not really. Like I said, the pace of content might come down a tiny bit, but my aim is to keep it up, like at a pretty similar rate. But like ultimately, as long as I'm happy, I don't really care. Like if I found that I was enjoying making content on the other channel way more and I just stopped enjoying making content on here and I just, and that's what was making me happy, then that's what really matters to me. I don't really, like, I love Polarity, don't get me wrong, and I don't ever want it to go anywhere. It might evolve. It probably will evolve because I think when you don't change, you become stagnant, right? And I'm not saying I'm going to like change to becoming like a food review channel. Like we'll always be digging into the weirdness. That's what we are. But I mean, even if you go back to like my first videos, right? If you look at Polarity then versus now, it's different. It's changed. And I'm sure that will continue too. If anything, it'll be a complimentary to the channel. Think of the sites you could visit that are in the UAP story. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I intend to do is to go to those places and add a different element to this. I would love to do that. We want food reviews too, please. Look, I mean, you guys obviously know I'm a little snack demon. I do love a snack. There will definitely be food reviews on the other channel. Not like food review videos, but I definitely intend to like incorporate that into what I'm doing. Like, if I'm heading out and I want to take you guys with me, whether we're going to like some markets or checking out some cool shit, obviously I'm going to stop off and get a snack along the way and I'm going to tell you guys what it is. And I'm going to tell you if it's good or not. Like that's just, that's what I mean. Like I want to bring you guys with me and just kind of like live alongside me in a way, but in like a fun sort of, in like a fun cinematic-y kind of way. I don't know. Like I said, we're going to figure it out, but I promise it'll be fun. Okay. I'll make sure of that. I try to make sure everything I do is fun. Okay. Because otherwise, what's the point? You are a snack. Thank you very much, Conspiracy Cutie. I appreciate you. Thomas Curry with 7 months as a member. My man says, get some banh mi in Hoi An. It will blow your mind. Oh, brother. I cannot wait. I've heard, like I said, my dad's over there now and he's spent some time over there. It's so cheap. And, that was a big part of this as well, is like, when he was like, okay, I'm selling the house, I was kind of like, well, do I go rent a house? Wait, how much is renting an average house that allows pets, by the way? That's a whole other thing here in Australia. Like, you might get an average house for $600 a week, but one that also allows pets, maybe it's $700. Okay, like it's fucking ridiculous here. And how much is it to live in like a beautiful, furnished, modern villa with a pool and like aircon and a workspace with high-speed internet in Southeast Asia? Well, in Vietnam specifically, like $300 a week, and that's like top of the line. So it's just ridiculous. It's like, wait, so I can travel, I can make content, start a new channel, start a new business venture, and I can save more money than I could if I stayed here doing it. I mean, kind of just like is like a no-brainer for me. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit scary, but not scary in like a ooh, I'm scared. But it's a bit like you're stepping into the unknown. So there's like that little bit of like you don't know what's going to happen, but I like that. I think that's where life begins, which sounds so cheesy, but I think it's true. Like otherwise, like what are you're just living here, which is okay for some people. If it makes people happy, absolutely. But for me, I don't know. I just feel like I always want to be like pushing, growing, being better, elevating myself. So that to me was just like, you know, everyone around me is like, damn, bro, that's wild. You're doing that. Like, that's kind of crazy. That's scary. But I'm just like, yeah, but everything else just feels gay and boring, to be honest. Just feels like this is just like just seems like an obvious choice. I don't know. But I do get it. I understand that it is unknown and it probably does seem a little bit scary for some people. Moving to the country for the same reason, $300 per week in rent, better lifestyle. There you go, Marinda. Yep. And, you know, a lot of people on that video as well were saying things like, oh, you know, you had some patriotic heroes going like, you're turning your back in Australia, you're unpatriotic, like all this kind of shit. I mean, I did say in the video that I love Australia and I'm proud to be Australian. Absolutely. But like, I just think the government here is fucked the way things are going. Like the fact that like people are still protesting on the street, thinking that like protesting against the left or the right is like actually doing something. And they think that like aggression towards each other is going to solve a problem. Like, it's just like people are so brain dead and they can't see that their strings are being pulled from the same place that it's like, bro, I can't be bothered with this. Like, you know, some people are like, why don't you stay and fight? Like, you have a voice. And it's just kind of like, I don't want to fight, man. I don't want to fight. We should all stop fighting, actually. But like, you know, I don't know. My way of fighting is going to other places and with my video camera and being like, hey, everyone, look at these people. They're not addicted to drinking every weekend, gambling, casual sex, clubbing, and partying. And they actually don't online shop all the time, and they're way happier. That's weird. Why is that? Why is that? These people actually put a lot more appreciation and weight into their spiritual connection, into family, into caring for their community. And they're way happier. Whoa! What is this crazy way of living? This is my way of doing it, okay? To just go there and be like, hey, everyone, look at this. Maybe take a leaf out of the book. I don't know. Maybe up to you. Just saying. And yeah, a lot of people like, yeah, and it is just funny. And I guess this is probably something that I need to get used to. Because obviously with Polarity, it's different kind of content, so people don't have these kind of comments. But like, I got a lot of comments on it with people like telling me like how I should live my life, which is just hilarious to me because it's like, bro, you don't even know me. You've just seen me on a video and you think you actually think you know what's best for me, which is hilarious. But that's probably something I'll have to get used to because I guess you know, people with faceless YouTube accounts are experts on your life, apparently. So we have to get used to that. Gambling ads should be banned. Yeah, maybe. I don't, you know, but this is a thing, right? Like, I don't even think there's anything wrong with gambling in itself. Like, this is the thing. Like, there's nothing wrong with gambling. There's nothing wrong with sports. There's nothing wrong with drinking with your mates and clubbing. Like, there's nothing wrong with these things. But it's how much value we place in them as a culture that I think is wrong. Like, that's where we have slipped up. We think that these things are the most important things, but they're actually like, then they're not only not important, but outside of moderation, they're destructive. And that's what we don't get. And yeah, you're right. Just all of these things are like promoted, and it just, I can't help but think that somewhere at the top, this is a conscious decision. This is a conscious decision that, you know, gambling, championing all these kind of things, clubbing, drinking, casual sex, all this kind of stuff. Like, this stuff is a conscious decision because a country that, I guess, cared for their people's well-being would be like, hey, this is destructive. Let's just reel that in a little bit. Maybe put some sort of restrictions on it, okay? It's still legal, but, you know, maybe just relax. Maybe we should promote things that make people's minds healthy. You named the Khazarian Mafia, but then you stopped? What do you mean by that? I don't really think I stopped, but I'm interested to hear what you think. You need visas or citizenship to move to another country. Yes, that is correct. Yep. Mindless consumerism is spiritual death. Skinny 4406. Print that one on a t-shirt for us, please. Thank you very much. I couldn't agree more. How tall are you in scrambled eggs? I would probably say I would have to be at least like 40 cartons of scrambled eggs tall. Vietnam is good and all until you have health issues. Well, it's interesting you say that because my dad, when he was there last time, had a health issue, got rushed to hospital, and he said the doctors were fantastic. So there you go. This is another thing as well. It's like people paint their individual experiences as the entire experience and the only way anyone will ever experience it. And it's like, okay, I've been to the hospital in Australia. I've had some amazing experiences and I've had some absolutely dog shit experiences. If I was a visitor in this country and only had one of those and then went back to my country going, healthcare's fucked in Australia. Well, it's like, well, no, maybe you just went to a shit hospital. Maybe you just got a shit doctor. I think you can have a shit experience anywhere you go. You can probably have a good experience anywhere you go as well. Within reason. I probably wouldn't want to go to a hospital in Somalia, but, within reason. Mac Campbell has gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Very generous. Let's get some love in the chat. Ra Clark says, as you mentioned, you may be going to Indonesia. You should check out the ancient mysterious ruins on the island of Sulawesi. Thank you. I'll have to check that out. I've not heard of that, so I'll definitely put that on the list. I'm Carpet with a $5 sticker. Thank you very much. Oh, wow. I missed all of these. I missed them before I did Thomas. Apologies. I'm Carpet says, I don't know how Australia works, but in America, you can just register animals as service animals and they're cheaper, maybe certain states. Oh, dude, really? I could easily get away with that. I would just say, yeah, look, you don't believe me? Look at my YouTube channel. I need a service animal. Okay? Please, trust me. Blaze says, my wife's Viet. She swears as well as I do. It's got the best energy of any Southeast Asia country. We'll be moving there in years to come. All the best, mate. Awesome, man. Awesome. And good luck to you with the move. Like I've seen lots of videos and I've read lots about it. It's a different culture, man. Like I said, my dad was in the hospital there and he said that his partner was able to literally just hang out with him on the bed. She could just lay on the bed with him. She could lay on the bed next to him if no one was using it. People were allowed to have their family come in at all hours. There was no like one visitor per limit, only family within visiting hours. No, they understand that family is important and they're not going to put a limit on that when people are sick. So, it's just shit like that. In Australia, it would be like, oh, have you signed in? Where's your face mask? Have you done your QR code check-in? It's after 9 p.m. You have to leave. What's that? Grandma's dying? Sorry, it's 9:05. Get out. Like, that's literally what it's like here. We put these, like, retarded policies in front of, like, in front of shit that actually matters. And those kind of things are important to me. Suki is an essential part of your work. It's beyond a service animal. Permission granted. Thank you very much. Get that man to a hospital. Yep. Where is it? Always.
Get this man to a hospital now.
Yep, that's right. All they'll need to do is watch like one live stream, especially from last week, and they'll be like, yep, get this man to a hospital and get this man his service animal quickly before he starts screaming at everyone on the plane that the pilot is a reptile. I imagine you have a pretty good immune system, so you should be okay. I've literally never had to in the last 20 years. Yeah, look, honestly, I'm a pretty healthy person. Like I said, I came from working in the fitness industry for 7 years. I still train. I still like to eat healthy, and that's all. And obviously, yes, I do like my snacks too, but my general diet is healthy, and my snacks are my treats. Josh was finally successful ordering my Seraphim hoodie. I'm so psyched. Yes, Jen, let's go. I'm looking forward to seeing you catwalking that hoodie in the Discord. By the way, guys, it's actually the last day. If you want to get 20% off with our Lizard King code, it's the last day. That code is going to become invalid in 2 hours and 8 minutes. Yep, 2 hours and 8 minutes left on this one here if you want to get yourself 20% off. And that's off all tees, all hoodies, and tank tops. You know I will. Good, good. I would expect no less. What's your routine? Do you do kettlebells? At the moment, I sort of do a mixture of CrossFit. I was doing weights and Pilates, and now I'm sort of doing weights, running, and I haven't been going to CrossFit as much, but it's hard doing all of it, right? But at the moment, lately, it's been weights and running, but I'm going to try and smash a few CrossFit sessions again before we head out. Josh, recreate the video of the lady getting weird on the plane. You mean the one that saw the shapeshifter? I got the hoodie, then I told if I wear it in public in my town, I'll be attacked. Who said that to you? Josh, is the shop and store run by the same people? Still waiting on merch to come from first release. I tried to email, but it bounced back. Really? Are you, Joshua? I don't know if you're trolling, bro. Because I can see all the orders and I can't see any that have any issues. And I do get people email me when there are issues and they come through just fine. So if that is, you are trolling, okay. I know you're being serious. You're in our Discord, bro. Shoot me a DM. I'll make sure we get that sorted. Let me know what the problem is and we'll get it fixed up for you. I apologize about that. You're the biggest Australian UFO guy and Ross hasn't given you an interview yet. Why? That could be why. No, look, I don't know. But well, no. I mean, I don't know because I don't talk to him, but if I had to guess, it would be probably because like I'm not really relevant to him in the sense of, yes, I look into this topic, but like what am I going to add to him? Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a podcaster interviewing another podcaster. You know what I mean? Like he researches cases. I don't know what I would tell him. I'd be like, hey, bro, my biggest interest is reptilians, and I run this from my bedroom. Hi, I'm Josh. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think I could offer him much, to be honest. I feel like, I mean, I have done a few podcasts, but I feel like they're people who are kind of like just interested in like shooting the shit with me and talking and just like maybe getting to know me, getting to know my interests. That's like Ross probably doesn't give a fuck about that. And like, fair enough. Why would he? You know what I mean? I don't expect him to. If anything, I would get Ross on this channel, but like also, I don't know. There's just a part of me that's like not really interested in talking to the people that we've all seen interviewed hundreds of times. Like, yes, they would probably be good for the channel in terms of growth and getting clicks and views and money and whatever. But like, I just can't be fucked. Like, honestly, guys, I get sent a lot of stuff to watch and look at. It's overwhelming that I just can't do anything other than pursue what I actually am interested in, because obviously I've got ADHD, which is like a dopamine-based condition. And if I don't have dopamine for it, I just can't be fucked, honestly. Honestly. Even if it was going to do bits for my channel, if I'm not into it, I just can't be bothered. Yeah, that makes sense. He's looking for contactees. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I don't think I could offer him much. I would love to have a beer with him. That I would love to have, I would love to have a beer with Ross in the pub and, maybe see what I could extract from him and just have a good conversation off air. I would enjoy that. But like to interview him, I don't know. I would rather a genuine conversation because I know he would say things that he can't say on a podcast. Got to follow your intuition. Yeah, that's it. That's what that's what got me here. And that's what I stay true to. And, that's actually something that Kirk talked about. So I guess, yeah, we can talk about that a little bit. You guys know that the other day I mentioned that get Winston from Parkway in for a beer. I would love that too. I would love to hang with the Parkway guys. there's a photo of me like 14 years old, like little emo kid wearing a Parkway shirt with like camo shorts and a bandana, little hardcore kid. I've been a massive Parkway fan ever since, I was old enough to hear their music. Since pretty much Killing with a Smile came out. Massive Parkway fan. Where was I? Yes, following intuition and, manifesting and things like that. Yes, yeah, some people know I got to have lunch with Kirk Hammett from Metallica the other day, which is just crazy. He watches the show. He's a fan, which is just an honor. And if there's one thing that can give you a bit of like affirmation that like what you're doing, that you're doing good and that you're going in the right direction, it is being invited out to lunch with Metallica. And, we spoke a lot about consciousness and intuition and manifestation. And it was just really cool to hear him, say a lot of the things that I know and that I believe in and that are like my values. And they are the same things that that got him to where he is too, is following that voice and just being passionately obsessed with work. And work's probably not the right word, but like passionately obsessed with your passion that you just grind at and turn it into something that can also bring in a career. And that's basically what I've been doing too. I basically do something for this channel every single day. And now I'm doing another channel and I'm sure I'll be working at that one hard as well. And, people tell me I need to take days off and rest, and I definitely do. Probably need to do that more. But it's hard when you enjoy it. Because like even when you're tired, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, but I could go make a thumbnail. I could do this. Like I just like doing it. I like creating stuff. So it's hard to take days off sometimes. But hearing Kirk talk about that kind of stuff was awesome. And just reaffirmed that like there's always going to be haters. There's always going to be people who tell you you're making the wrong move or you're doing XYZ wrong or you're an idiot or you're a retard or whatever. But like when you're rooted in your own like beliefs and you come from a good place and that you're just, following your voice with pure intention, that's it. That's all you need. I feel like you just stay true to that and everything else kind of falls into place. And that's basically what Kirk said too. So to hear him say that, I was just like, all right, basically just keep doing what you're doing. You can invite reputable contactees onto your show. Yeah, we've had I've interviewed Mac Mazda. I guess reputable, probably not very well known in terms of like famous contactees. But yeah, we had Mac on the show. That was a wild interview. And yeah, I would do that more. I think it's just like, you also get to a certain point where it's like, it's not that I don't believe you. It's like, what's the difference between interviewing, say, Mac, who can just tell his story and, and he actually did have some drawings and things that I found really interesting that were from his experience. And that was a big push for me to have him on. But what's the difference between having Mac or having Whitley Strieber or some other famous contactee who can just tell their story? And at the end of the podcast, we're all just like, I'm not any further down the line than we were at the start, but it was a cool story. You know what I mean? And it's not that I don't believe him. It's just like, I think it doesn't fulfill me to do that. I kind of want to do things that, I don't know, at least show people things that they've never seen before. That's what I really liked about Reptile Week, getting to show the Credo Mortua interview, getting to do the Arizona Wilder stuff. Like these are old things that a lot of people who are newer to these topics have never seen before. And I like doing that. I like giving something new to people. And sometimes something new is actually old, but it connects to everything that's still going on today. Joshy, looking forward to James Fox's upgraded version of Moment of Contact. Yeah, I actually am. I actually think that is probably going to be... I'll say it here. You'll hear this here first. I think James Fox's Moment of Contact is going to be more positively received than the Age of Disclosure. I think the Age of Disclosure is not going to be positively received. I think you're going to hear people... I mean, basically, you're just getting the entire CIA brigade saying, we'll tell you what we know, but promise you won't put us in prison. Because we did do some fucked up shit, so say you won't put us in prison and then we'll tell you. I think that's basically the movie. So I don't think people are going to like that. And I think by the sounds of it, yeah, Heather, that the interview with this doctor, the guy that worked on the alien being in Varginha, Brazil, I think that's far more interesting. Daria says, Ross only interviews people that reaffirm his own ideals and leads them in interviews. I don't know, I wouldn't agree with that fully. I think he has had an interview or two where he does seem like he's leading them. But I don't necessarily know if he only interviews people that reaffirm his own ideas. I do think he's honest in his investigation. But I do more and more think that he has been sort of unknowingly scooped in to the spooky programs. Not programs, but like he's surrounded by spooks. And I just, I don't know. I mean, I think, is it just me, or does like News Nation kind of just seem like the CNN for alternative people these days? Like the whole, it's just weird. It's just weird. I think, yeah, I don't think it's it. Josh, just wanted to thank you for all the hard work you put into this channel. My 5 dogs love seeing Suki on the screen. Good luck and safe travels. Thank you very much. We can get her up right now. Looking like a little cozy burrito. Suki. No, she's sleeping. Oh, her eyes opened, but... Oh, there she is. The pig wakes. Oops. She's so shiny. I always call her pig, by the way, but it's a term of endearment. I feel like pig sounds like kind of rude, but like because she snorts and she's kind of like chunky like a little pig, she gets called Piggy all the time. All That I Know says, shout out to Hugh Janus, Wilma Fing. Look, I know this is meant to be a play on words here, but I don't even know what that is. Wilma Fingerdo. But what is that meant to sound like? Will my finger do? Yep, I like it. I need a hard dick. And may swallow. Yep, I like it. Shout out to Hugh Janus, Will my finger do, I need a hard dick, and may swallow. Shout out to you guys in the chat. I know you're here. Christico has gifted a membership. Thank you very much. Taris has gifted 5. My man Taris. Let's go. And Daria says he's always leading. Pay attention to the language. Well, look, Daria, I'll be honest. Ever since where is it? Ever since the Michael Batista interview. God damn it, I can't find it. Actually, come on, Josh, think. You have 500 people watching you. Do something. Yeah, okay, here we go. Ever since the Michael Batista interview, me with like Ross and News Nation, I'm probably going to head out. I think I've seen enough here. Do you know what I mean? Look, fair play to yous. I'll keep an eye on what's going on. Will I watch every episode and report on it? No, I'll probably head out. Actually. So yeah, I keep an eye on it, and I do want to check out a little bit more of his interview with James Fox because I want to know about the movie. But yeah, I think I've probably not been paying much attention since then. But like I always say, just because someone does one bad interview or kind of goes off track a little bit, I don't think it's a reason to fully throw him in the bin. And I don't think Ross is like fully compromised. At the end of the day, I think his intentions are good. I just think he's surrounded by spooks and maybe... And, I feel like he probably is smart enough to realize that. But once he realizes that, now he's just basically like one of us, trying to decipher, work his way through the reads, who's lying, who isn't. And, you know, how much more pull does he have than us? Come on, Josh, he's totally compromised. No, I don't think so. I could be wrong, though. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't say he's totally compromised. I still think he acts from good intent. I just think he's surrounded by spooks. I really do. The blonde lady that he works with seems nice. Yeah, settle down, Joshua. I know you, mate. I know what you're thinking. What's her name? Megan. Leave Megan out of this, bro. This is a PG show. Ross is hosting a reptile at the moment. Pray for Ross's flesh prison. What do you mean he's hosting a reptile? Like the damn live, please, and thank you. Thank you very much, Mickey. Yeah, go on. Slap a like on the video for Reptile Week. It's been fun. It's been wild. And, you know, like I said, we were going to do the Donald Marshall thing. Didn't happen. There is another guy that I want to look at who I've covered before, who I really like his work. And honestly, I would have liked him to be a part of Reptile Week. It just, you know, you can only fit in so much. And our Lord and Father and Savior, David Icke, really kind of stole the show, especially with his YouTube channel returning. And you know what? I'll be honest with you guys. Your boy went for the half-court buzzer beater. I really did, okay? With about halfway into Reptile Week, knowing that David Icke's YouTube channel was back, I was like, you know what? Bump, bump, bump. 3 seconds left, 3 days left. I'm going to half-court this shot, baby. I hit him up. I said, David, brother, welcome back to YouTube. I'm a big fan, have been for a while. I'm doing Reptile Week. We're talking reptilians. We're digging into some of your amazing work from the past. And what better way to celebrate your return to YouTube, the end of Reptile Week here? Come and hang out on Polarity. We'll have a conversation. We'll talk shapeshifters, everything, wherever you want to go. And my man airballed me. You know, he airballed me. But you know, you get that on the big jobs sometimes. You miss every shot you don't take. And it is what it is. But like I said, he's probably a busy man. Who knows? Maybe he'll hit me back in a week, or maybe I'll just go fuck myself and he'll just ignore me. Either could happen, and I'm okay with either. But I thought, why not, right? Why not? That it would be a really cool way to end Reptile Week, but unfortunately, didn't happen. Michael, you little freak, sir. Thank you for becoming a member. No worries, he'll come around. Yeah. And even if he doesn't, like, again, I just don't really care. And I feel like whatever is meant to happen will happen. I really am just kind of at that point in my life now. And I have just confidence in that things will work out the way that they're meant to. So, you know, if David comes, great. If he doesn't, awesome. Someone said, love Timothy Alberino. So a while ago, I spoke about doing a live stream on the face peelers. And then, obviously, like always, when you have an idea, other creative people around the world also seem to somehow tap into that same idea and make content about it at the same time, which has happened many, many times in this year making this channel, which is fine. But when I was talking about it, then like someone else did a video, the Y-Files did a video on it, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna do a live stream on it now. But time has passed, and I still really want to cover it because I think it's such a wild topic and story, and you know, some of it, you know, I do think it could even maybe connect somehow to the reptilian story. I don't know. It's crazy though, and I think we'll cover that this week. Basically, I think there's like an hour-long segment in Timothy Alberino on Sean Ryan, which I think we might just grab and look at, because I know Sean Ryan openly talk about how they like are okay with people covering their show and like using clips. So I know that won't be an issue. So I think we could like watch that, and I might pull in a few things to like cross-reference and find a few like bits of footage from Peru. I think that could be a lot of fun. And by the way, given that we've been talking about truth in fiction, it's crazy, and like he says this as well, how these things look like the Green Goblin. So like, I don't know what that's about. They arrive on these platforms. They have full body armor. They have like elliptical eyes. Like they literally sounds like the Green Goblin. So I don't know what the fuck that is about, bro. Like at this point, I'm just like, why Does everything in ufology seem to already be in a movie? It's just weird, man. It's just weird. Timothy Alberino has tons to talk about and loves Sean Ryan too. Yeah, that's what we'll cover. Oh my god, Polarity, are you okay? Yes, Kurt, I'm fine. How are you? I want a goblin rocket. Chat's cooked. Yes, Maggie, welcome to Polarity. We got some cooked trolls in here that are just funny. Oh, look, I have the best community on YouTube, no doubt. The most loving, the most generous, but also the weirdest. And I'm okay with that. I'm absolutely okay with that because you can be weird and like kind of odd and strange without being like negative or causing a problem. And I actually think it just kind of adds to the fun a little bit. Especially that guy who always comes in and he like talks in capitals and says like the world is ending, give pledge to Jesus Christ. He's just like literally the homeless guy on a corner with a cardboard sign with like a bell. And he just pops in like twice on a live stream and just kind of says his little piece. And it's just like, hey, there's the crazy church guy. Love that guy. Go you, bro. Spread your message. It's good fun. We have fun. We do. Hear ye. Yeah, exactly. Just like our local psycho. Love it. Wow, stop doxing me. Yeah, we see everything, Kurt. We know what your burner account is. I think all the big hype for the age of disclosure has totally died. They missed their timing. Yeah, definitely. But the thing is, man, I don't know if they missed their timing. I feel like this has been intentional. I feel like, and you know, like, let's not forget that Lou Elizondo is the executive producer for the movie, right? So Dan Farrar is the director and producer. One or the other, okay? I think he's the director. Or whatever, it doesn't matter. Dan Farrar did Ready Player One, okay? Established producer or director, who cares? Lou Elizondo was listed as the executive producer. And like 2 months ago, Lou Elizondo sued Dan Farrar for something about like his book. And it's like, bro, are you guys even like friends? Like, what is going on here? No wonder this, you know what I mean? Like, there's just spooks everywhere, bro. There's spooks everywhere. And how did the guy who showed a fucking cornfield and a chandelier become the executive producer on a movie about disclosure, by the way? Anyone find that kind of odd? Anyone find it kind of odd that he even did that in the first place? And then was like, well, I did say it wasn't vetted. Well, maybe vet it, considering you're the guy that's on like every single podcast, and you're from an intelligence background, and you worked on ORSAP and ATIP and whatever the fuck. Like, dude, I don't know, bro. This is what I mean. I'm obviously interested in UFOs and like the true nature of reality. Like that's what I'm interested in ultimately, is the true nature of reality. That's what I care about. So like if it turns out like disclosure and aliens and UFOs are all just a psyop, I don't care. If that's what's actually is true, then that's what I want to know. Like I'm not like along for this ride about like, you know, fucking black programs and Jim Lakatsky and doing all these like secret ops and shit. Like, bro, it's all just spooky shit. I don't really care. Disclosure is boring. You all lie to each other. Your Congress can't do shit. Nothing goes anywhere, and you just go in circles. And it just feels like a real life reality TV show. I would rather just listen to real experiences, listen to people who don't come from intelligence backgrounds, and just like even if I don't get hard answers from them, I would rather listen to people that like I don't feel like have an ulterior motive with what they're telling me. So, yeah, I would say people have lost interest in the Age of Disclosure documentary, but I think people have lost interest in the government-led disclosure overall. I mean, like people have said, the current run of disclosure is dead. Even Matt Brown said it too. Like, it is dead, but I think that's a good thing because I don't think we're ever going to get anything from it. It just felt like another spin to, I don't know, buy time to go and lock them another 7 levels deeper underground so no one finds them, or who knows? Who knows? You care, you're just going through changes and you're upset because you can't handle the truth. That would imply that either you know what the truth is or you think I know what the truth is. No one knows, bro. Everyone knows just as much as they did a year ago. So I don't know like what you're getting at with that. Like, I don't care for government disclosure. I don't, because I don't believe in it. I think it's all bullshit. When I heard Lou was involved, I lost momentum with the delayed movie. Yeah, I think actually when I found out that Lou, I think it might have been on a live stream. I showed the clip of them talking, of Ross Coulthart saying that Lou Elizondo is the executive producer. And I ran a poll and I said, how do you feel about this? Are you still excited? Are you less excited, or you don't care? And a lot of people were like, yeah, I kind of don't care about this movie anymore. Like, all my excitement of it being like a big revelation. And I'm pretty sure this was like, you know, a week after the cornfield incident. So it was kind of like, oh, yes, the guy who thinks a cornfield is a UFO is executive producing a movie about disclosure. Wow, what's going to be in that one? What's he going to tell us is a UFO in that one that actually turns out to be fucking, I don't know, a plane or a helicopter or something? Less excited, he killed it. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, like, don't get me wrong, it's unfortunate. Like, I'm not happy that like government disclosure sucks. I obviously believed in it at one point, and I think a lot of us did. But like, I also, when something is obviously shit or wrong or bullshit, I'm not going to gaslight myself into being like, no, Jim Lukatsky's going to tell us the truth soon. No. Chief Wiggins has the answers. No, the next hearing, Jeremy Corbell's going to testify. Please, man, please believe me, bro. No, dude, it's clearly fake and gay. Let's just try something else. 79 Juno. Been a few days. Work. I'm keeping up. Much weirdo love. My man, thank you for the support, brother. I appreciate you. Josh, this has happened for the last 80 years. Exactly. So, you know, even us putting our eggs in this basket was going, like, we were already going, like, contradicting the evidence that was laid before us. We were already doing that. So it's not like I have a short fuse. It's not like I have low patience. It's kind of like, okay, you've lied about this for 80 years. It does seem like there's a bit of a movement here, even though it's led by the same people who lied to us. But okay, I want to believe. I'll give it a shot. Come on, let's do it. Go Congress. Go UFO. Okay, it's been a year now. Kind of seems like the same bullshit, actually. Damn, you got me. But as Serp said the other day, retard me once, shame on me. No, retard me once, shame on you. Retard me twice, shame on me. And yeah, look, I think it's not really about it. I'll still keep an eye on it. If something seems worth talking about, we'll talk about it. But this is why I enjoy looking into archival stuff, people who don't come from the CIA, because like I just don't trust them. And I feel like we can maybe put the pieces together better ourselves by just sort of listening to people who don't have an ulterior motive. Also, Greg Bishop, he goes on your show. Never heard of him. Lies, lies, lies. It's been 40 years. The biggest story, Bob Lazar Space Wars. Incoherent comment. Not fully sure what you mean. But I believe Bob Lazar. So, like, that's, I believe, his story. And well, partially because when I look at him and his story hasn't changed, you know, I don't believe that he's trying to scam anybody. I don't see what he's benefited from doing that. Why would he do that? Intelligent man, probably could have had a good career if he just did that instead of lying for 40 years. So it's people like that I like to listen to. And the fact that he was so heavily character assassinated, it's like, you're saying things that the CIA doesn't like, you're probably telling the truth. Same as David Icke. And, you know, these people, but still, it's like, I don't just say everything that they say is correct because, you know, memory can be hazy. 10 blind men and the elephant, they only see a small perspective of the larger picture. So there could be other pieces, but I would much rather hear from them than people that I know literally say, I worked in counterintelligence. Here's what you need to know about UFOs. Like, yeah, probably not. Probably not. Do you think Bob Lazar's been mind controlled too, like memory wipe or memory manipulation? I mean, I have no way to know that, bro. But does he speak like someone who does? No, I don't think so. Do some people kind of talk and have a sort of like body language that comes across like they have been in the UFO space? Yes, absolutely, I think. And, you know, if you watch my interview, actually, I don't think it was in that part, but part 2 of my interview with Gray, who talks about MK Ultra whistleblowers and survivors, he's going to talk a lot of, and hopefully that'll be out tomorrow, by the way. I just didn't get time this week. But he goes in on Skywatcher, a lot of people surrounding Skywatcher, and basically that believes that they're all MK Ultra. And I mean, and like, I mean this respectfully, because if these people are part of these programs and they've been mentally abused or manipulated or whatever, then they're literally victims. So I actually do mean this respectfully. But like, when you look at Jordan Jozak, Michael Batista, like when you look at them speak, you can tell that like something is wrong. Like they're not all there. And I don't mean that in they're dumb way. I just mean like it's like something is wrong. I don't know how to explain it. Jake Barber seems very switched on. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. So much so that I feel like he could probably lie to some. I mean, his job was literally to go to the Stephen Greer thing and like red team it. So you could say he's a trusted professional in appearing as someone, but actually having another job in his mind. Now, I'm not saying that's what he's doing, but he's clearly has that capability. But I've always said he seems legit to me. But like, you know, all these things, they're all surrounded by spooky people. It's just like, Anomalous Angel, 2 months as a member. You are an angel. Wishing you peace and freedom, Josh. I was going to buy a Polarity hoodie, but you don't have white. Yeah, I don't stock white hoodies, and you know, maybe I should. But the reason why I don't is I just feel like they get so dirty. I mean, I could very easily put up a white version if people actually like white hoodies. I could very easily do that. That's why I have like the sandy colored one, because it's like an off-white, and I think that's a really nice color for a hoodie. But if people like white hoodies, I can very easily make them. Josh, for some reason, the website wasn't letting me buy you a coffee, so I ended up buying a Polarity hoodie. Oh, really? What, like this QR code doesn't work? The one that's here? Try it again and let me know. Not like, I'm not saying give me money. I'm just saying, like, tell me if the error is still happening. If you try to do it, and I guess I should probably get that fixed, because it is part of my income, probably important Thank you for letting me know, though, and thank you for buying a hoodie. I appreciate it. I hope you like it. Barbados, you little freak, sir. Thank you for becoming a member. Or ma'am. Could be a woman. Could be a they, them. Could identify as a wolf. Could be a furry. 79 Juno. Compartments, folks. Always the shite that is so compartmentalized in every facet. One group has no idea what the next group is on about at any given parcel of time. Exactly, dude. I think it was Jake Barber and David Grush who have said this, that the hand doesn't know what the shoulder is doing or vice versa. And again, just like we're talking about, why is our culture the way that it is? Why is, certain things that are destructive to the human mind and spirit, why are they promoted and championed? Not to mention all the garbage in our food, right? This is a conscious decision. I can't help but think somewhere along the line, the government and the military arm becoming so compartmentalized that it doesn't even know what it's doing is a conscious decision. Because there's someone up at the very top. Think about this, right? All org charts in any business, they all run like this, and somewhere they get to the top where there's just 1, 2, 3 big dogs, and they do get a top-down view. And if they cared, they would be like, hey, it looks like they have no fucking clue what they are doing, and they're meant to work together. That's a problem if I care about my business. But clearly the way that it operates is actually to someone's benefit, because they're probably doing things that if people knew, they would be like, hey, this doesn't seem ethical. This actually seems like we hate humans. This actually seems like we hate the people who live in this country. Why are we doing this? So it wouldn't work if everyone got to talk to each other. People have to be so compartmentalized and indoctrinated to not ask questions, because that's the way of the military. Because if you didn't have people who weren't not allowed to speak to each other and who didn't know what each other were doing and who weren't allowed to ask questions, people would be like, hey, why the fuck do you treat everyone like pieces of shit? And then they would have to answer that question, and they'd probably be like, well, because I hate you. I'm Carpet with a $10 sticker. Thank you very much. And 79 Juno with a sticker too. Love it. Thank you very much, guys. Can someone tell me the merch code? It is Lizard King right here up on the screen. Lizard King, and it is only active for another hour and 20 minutes. It's the Khazarian Mafia, just saying. Yeah, I mean, it's a conspiracy theory, but, so are a lot of things. And when you look at the data, it's like, well, no one else has given me an answer that makes sense. Apparently, somehow we just got to a point where we started putting shit in our foods that makes people infertile and started promoting casual sex and dysfunctional relationships on TV and gambling and alcohol and cigarettes, basically making our people the most mentally dysfunctional, retarded, and unhappy and unhealthy civilization on Earth. But I just can't figure out how that happened. Well, the Khazarian Mafia is actually a pretty good explanation, to be honest, if you look into it, and it makes a lot of sense. Because what's it like? If you want to control a group of people, if you want to rule over a group of people, do you want them to be strong? Do you want them to be intelligent? Do you want them to be clued in? No, you want them to be dumb and retarded and fighting and hating each other, because they're far more easier to control. Yeah, Khazarian Mafia. Yeah, they've done it for years, decades, centuries. Nah, it's just what they did. So when you look around, what the fuck else is going on? Please. Helen, celebrating 1 month as a member, says, I love being a weirdo. And I love you being a weirdo too, Helen. Thank you very much. And I'm Carpet, celebrating 1 month as well, says, much love, weirdos. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Absolute legends. And a $10 sticker. And a $10 sticker. Thank you. Appreciate the support, guys. I'm glad that people actually seem to be enjoying a stream like this, because I'll be honest, I like just hanging out and talking. And sometimes there have been streams where I just wanted to do this, and I thought people wouldn't like it because of, people want to watch content and look at stuff together, which I still like doing too. But sometimes it's just fun to hang out and talk shit. So, you know, the fact that you guys like this, we'll definitely do it more. Dude, can you be less happy, please? No. Josh, have you watched Awaken Zone on YouTube or Next Level Soul podcast? Ooh, Next Level Soul podcast, I think I have. Yeah, I think I've watched that one. They do a lot of like, you know, near-death experiences, astral projection, psychics and mediums and things like that. I'm pretty sure, if I have the right thing. John Anthony, always supporting the channel, John. Thank you very much. He says, good morning from Tucson, Josh, Suki, and fellow Weirdonians. I like this. This is kind of, I mean, I'm reading it this way, but I like it. It feels like a news announcement. Good morning from Tucson, Josh, Suki, and fellow Weirdonians. Excited to be receiving my Touchgrass t-shirt tomorrow. Thanks for all of your amazing work, Josh. Signing off, John. He didn't say the last bit, but it fit well. Thank you very much, John. What color did you get? I gotta say, the pine green Touchgrass t-shirt is just perfect. It's got this, I mean, I think it's probably my favorite color, like that forest, that sort of dark foresty green. I love that. And it just goes well with the Touchgrass. But I'm sure whatever color you chose will look fantastic, John. Thank you very much for the support, my man. Speaking of news reporters, why the fuck do they all talk the same? When they're reading the news, they all talk like this. Why the fuck do they do it? I don't know. Like, hey, we want to, like, isn't the point of you to, like, tell us something and make us believe it? How about don't sound like a fucking robot or something? How about all don't sound the same? And why do you do that? Does someone tell you to do that? Or did you just grow up thinking, I want to be a news reporter, so I'm just going to talk like all the news reporters do? And then, like, it's just somehow started this vicious cycle of, like, everyone who wants to be a news reporter just subconsciously thinks they have to talk like that. Or is this a conscious decision? You know what? There's probably something about those tones that they figured out, like, works best on NPCs, and they're coached to do that. This probably is all some MK Ultra brainwashing shit, let's be real. But people like us, who are less retarded, note that I said less, are like, hey, you sound like ChatGPT. I'm gonna turn you off now. Kelly Hall would love to see a female Touchgrass t-shirt. Oh, okay. Actually, you know what, Kelly? Where is it? I actually think the Touchgrass design would look beautiful on the new Seraphim singlet that we've got. Where is it? This one. I think that would look really good, to be honest. What do you think? Kelly, say the word and I'll do it. Say the word right now in the chat and I will put it in the store tonight. I'll just do it right now. I don't care. Say it and we will have a Touchgrass singlet like this in the store within 24 hours. I promise. So much grifting and fakery in the spiritual sector. Use discernment. I mean, you should use discernment with anything. Really. You're going to get that kind of stuff everywhere. Just bought a Polarity Crash t-shirt. Rusty. My man, you're going to be looking schmick. Kelly Hall says, yes, sir. Done. Done. It will be up and probably in white, black, and pink. Because I think they're like the main colors for this. I don't think this comes in a green. But to be honest, I don't know if a green would fit that vibe. And, you know, they are, like, I really like them. Obviously, I made them, so I like them. But I just think, like, the design works really well with the top. If I was a girl, I would wear it. Just saying. I mean, I could wear it now. I don't know if it would look as good with, like, hairy armpits, but maybe some people would be into it. Jared's Inferno celebrating 5 months. You are 1 month away from that gold trim, sir. He says, sounds like part of the MSM programming. It's wild when you see multiple networks with the talking points like verbatim. Yeah, actually, look, let's pull that up. Jamie, pull that up. Just kidding. I'm Jamie. I'm Jamie and Josh. Okay, let me just think about where this clip is. Actually, you know what? I think I've got a feeling that when I made this clip, your boy was organized and he didn't just name it something stupid. And if I search news, yeah, here it is. Okay. This is from Out of Shadows, which, by the way, if you haven't seen it and you want to red pill the fuck out of yourself, go and watch Out of Shadows. It's free. Oh god, it's free on their website. And basically this is a little segment from it. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw it in here. Volume warning. Sometimes these things come in loud, but check this out. Oh, don't do this to me. Okay, here it is.
Exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is extremely dangerous to our democracy. Retard alert! Michael Grieger, 6 months. My man is trimmed up with the gold. He says, hey Josh, good luck on the overseas adventure. Under the science tab, I've posted some info on the thunderstorm generator. It works. More info in the Discord. Cheers. My man. Thank you very much, Michael. I appreciate all of your support. And I will we'll have to go and check that out. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's a classic example of just the news, where all different news outlets saying the exact same shit. It's like, hey, anyone awake here? Anyone think that's a little weird? Is it a coincidence that they all just happened to write the same script on the same day, or what? I've got a feeling it isn't. 79 Juno says, hello to all the folks from Alaska. Been seeing a few on the reels lately. Lots of weirdos. Lots of weirdo shit in the AK, Alaska. You talking UFOs, bro? Is that what you mean? You've been seeing a few UFOs? What's going on there? Thank you for the super chat. So yeah, by the way, I do highly recommend that. What is it? Out of Shadows. I think it's look, I'll just grab a link for you guys because it's one of those streams. I think it's called Into the Light.movie. Yeah, it is. Oh, look, your boy's just got links off the top of his head. It's in the chat if you guys want it. It is called Into the Light, which is the follow-up to Out of Shadows. Now, you have to pay for that one, but Out of Shadows is free, and you can watch it at that link. I've never seen Into the Light, though. But yeah, go and check that out. But not yet, because after the stream, we're going to be watching a movie together in the Polarity Discord. If you don't know, the link is below. It's free. We're actually going to be watching the original V miniseries. And you know what? Let's talk about this, because talk about convoluted. Fuck me. Listen to this. Hang on. So, for those of you who don't know, V is a series about like reptilians that came to Earth, and they looked like humans, but they were from another planet, and they were going to like help people. But then it turns out that they are actually shape-shifting reptilians that are here to enslave humanity. Again, what a coincidence. Now, the thing is, though, this thing got like released in such a weird way, okay? And like the titles are all very similar, but there's distinctions in it. So what we're going to be watching is the very first one. Susie says, Josh, if this is live, clap your hands. Sorry, Susie, this is pre-recorded. It came out in different parts, okay? The very first part is called V, the original miniseries, and it's 2 parts. Each part is like an hour, is like a bit over an hour. It's like 2 movies, but it's like a miniseries in the 2 movies. We're going to watch part 1 tonight, and we'll watch part 2 maybe tomorrow. Then they released V, the Final Battle, which is, I believe, another 2-part series. Or it's like another mini series, essentially. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna have to grok this. Sorry, it's coming. Wait, actually, it's in my history. Yep. Nope. Basically, the next one that's called The Final Battle. Okay, here it is. Original miniseries, 2-parter, about 3.5 hours in total. Then you've got The Final Battle, which is a 3-part sequel miniseries, okay? Which goes for 4.5 hours total. Now, those 2 miniseries were like the original. Those are like the main things, and then apparently it got cancelled, and apparently it ends on like a cliffhanger, which is kind of weird, right? Then they released The Series, which is 19 episodes from 1984 to 1985. And I think that also got cut on like a cliffhanger again. I'm curious what these cliffhangers are. Were they about to say something that they didn't want people to know? I don't know. I've never seen it. I'm looking forward to it. And then they released the remake in 2009 to 2011, which is basically a reimagined version of the same story, but with like post 9/11 themes in it. So there's so many different versions of this we could watch, but I feel like it's always best to start at the start. So that's what we're doing tonight. We're doing part 1 of the original miniseries, and I'm really excited for it. And it was written by a guy named Kenneth Johnson. I don't know anything about him. I don't know if he's done other things in the past. Maybe he's got like an interesting history. I'm really not sure, but I'm excited to get into that. So that's straight after the stream, guys. Like I said, it's free. Discord link is below, and we'll be streaming it in the movie theater. So there'll be instructions on how to get in there once you're in there. It's open to everybody. Everyone is welcome. Come on in. Bring snacks. I'll try not to pinch any. Anomalous Angel says, Josh, please do the white hoodie. Every summer I buy a white hoodie and I want it to be Polarity. Oh, well, how can I say no to that? How can I say no to that? I can't. I will update the store. We will get white hoodies and we will get the touch grass in the female cut tank top thing. Yep, that's what we'll do. Also, while you're down there looking at the Discord, guys, if anyone hasn't seen my new channel yet or subscribed or watched the video over there, it would mean a lot if you could. Obviously, I want to try and get that channel monetized as quickly as possible because I want to put time into it. And obviously, when you start a new business, you don't make money at the start. That's normal. But the quicker we can get it up and running, the more time I'm going to be able to put into it and make it hopefully just as big as this channel. And I'm really excited to do that. That's what's getting me ticking right now. But obviously, I can't really do it until I'm actually traveling. Not much of a travel vlog here. I just walk around my empty house. Your mic does a Ross gasp. I noticed that. It started doing that. When I move my mic now, it's getting weird squeaks. I don't know. It's just started doing it. It is what it is. I have a new microphone to take overseas with me as well. I've basically like renewed my entire life before I go overseas. Literally everything. Bought new everything. Like all my clothes I've given to Salvation Army. Not all of them, but like I had so much shit in my wardrobe. I just gave it to Salvation Army and just bought like a couple of new t-shirts and like, I don't know. I'm just like dumping the old life. You know what I mean? Get the old life out of here. Complete new slate. And I'm really excited for that. You thought it was Suki snoring? If I had a mic down there, yeah, that's exactly what you would hear. I thought the camera had a zoom function, but it doesn't. Josh, you're gonna get some more tats on the road, bro? Absolutely. I want to finish my back in Bali, and I think I'm gonna get a Kali on my back. I was gonna get this I was gonna do this sort of like Japanese style geisha thing. That's sort of what I'd always had in mind. But I really like the idea of changing it to a big Kali face. I think that'll be sick. So yeah, I'll probably do that and maybe a couple of others. But eventually I probably will have a lot of tattoos. I mean, I already do have a few, but I probably will get a lot more. I had space junk fly over my house yesterday. Sonic Boom scared the shit out of the pets and I. Really? Wow. That's scary, bro. That shit, what if that shit lands in your backyard? Josh is going to come back to Suki looking like a biker? No, I don't really get into bikey style tattoos. That's not my vibe. I like traditional or like Japanese, traditional, neo-traditional. I feel like bikey style is very like, you know, they do like just realism, and like it's all pretty like, it's very Bali. Like the classic Bali style is kind of bikey. They do like the Chicano and like all that kind of shit. That's not really my vibe. Been there too, moved to the US. Moved to the US from Adelaide to New York, and you stayed for 20 years. Damn. You know, I don't have New York on my itinerary yet when I'm in the States, but I do want to go, honestly, because I want to get some pastrami sandwiches. I'm dead serious. That is the biggest draw card for me. Like, yeah. Statue of Liberty, Empire State Building, Central Park, Times Square. Cool, seen it. Yeah, took the photo. Cool. Pastrami sandwiches, though. I was originally planning this trip with my ex-girlfriend, right? We're not together anymore. And she really wanted to go to New York. She wanted to do all those things. Statue of Liberty, Times Square, blah, 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 blah. And I was kind of like, honestly, it's a concrete jungle. It's not really my vibe. But, you know, if you want to go, we'll go. And then I saw videos on the pastrami sandwiches. And I was like, hey, I think we might need a few more days in New York. I think we might need to go to manage booking and like put a few more days on that, because I've seen the Philly cheesesteaks, I've seen the pastrami sandwiches, and I don't know if we have enough time. We're gonna need to fix that. But yeah, since we're not together, yes, Darkness, yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Chicano, Dice, LA gangster cars, classic biker shit. Not for me, thanks. Yeah, since we're not together anymore, I've cut that off the trip. But I am going to be in Florida. Yep. I am going to be out that way. So, you know, when I'm there, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe I do just go to, maybe I should just go to New York for a little bit. The Jewish delis in New York are S tier. Yeah, my best friend was actually in New York last year, and he said he didn't tip. He didn't tip this place because he paid $40 per pastrami sandwich. And let me just convert that for my non-free folk, because like that's fucking insane. Like that's just absurd money. That's $61. Okay. He paid $61 for a sandwich and didn't tip. And he got chased down the road by a Jew. He got chased down the road by an angry Jew for not tipping. I fucking love that story, dude. I almost not want to tip and see if I can lure a Jew out of the deli. Fuck paying that. I know, right? I know. I'm just picturing like a Hasidic Jew like running down the street with like bouncing locks, screaming, demanding shekels. Like, bro, I just paid $60 for a fucking sandwich. Isn't that enough? But I mean, we don't tip in Australia. So like, it's not really our culture, you know? But obviously when you're in another country, you respect their customs and their culture for sure. But like, I lived in Canada for like 9 months, as a lot of you know. I've said it 1,000 fucking times. And the thing is, though, what I didn't like is it's like tipping is part of the culture, but it's like, aren't you meant to tip when like based on the service? And like, I remember getting shit service and being like, well, I'm not going to tip you because you were you actually made me feel uncomfortable, or you were like rude or whatever. You know what I mean? They're like, why would I tip you? Like, isn't it tip? It's like, oh, you did a great job. I'm going to tip you an extra $30, or you smiled. Here's an extra $10. Like, isn't that how it's meant to work? I could be wrong here. I'm literally just saying how I think it is. but like you go to some places and they build the 30% tip into the bill. It's like, oh, wait, did you provide 30% worth of service, did you? I thought I got to make that decision. The waiters get minimum wage. Yeah, so I know. I do understand that at restaurants, but at the same time, it's like, well, if that's your culture and you need to work for tips, smile, be friendly, ask if I need anything or if the food is okay. Like just the basic stuff that you do in customer service, and sure, I'll tip. But if you kind of like rock up like, what do you want? Yeah. Anything else? Okay. And then just come and dump it on my table. Like, do I tip you because I don't really feel like I want to? I don't know. I could just be an arrogant Australian here, by the way. Like, I'm totally explaining this from my perspective where I don't have to tip. But that's how it feels for me. Yeah, as a former waitress, if you suck, no tip. Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's like, if that's the culture you're in, where you get tipped on performance, don't get mad at me for not tipping when you perform shit. Like, I didn't make the culture. If I did, I'd say they should just pay you more and then you can be as shit as you want and it doesn't matter. But you don't. So don't get mad at me. I didn't fucking make it. I didn't create this mess. Old Rathgate says, dude, JRE yesterday, 5 min of pod tells Brett Weinstein about his... Okay, 5 minutes of the pod tells Brett Weinstein about his dream with human-like entities warning him about reptiles. Oh, damn. Okay, we need to look at that. Love the show, bro. Thank you very much, man. Skinny says, with $20, my man, thank you, says, would you consider a deep dive episode on Vogue propaganda, voice of God? Appreciate you, Josh Godspeed. I've never heard of it, man. I wouldn't even have a clue what that is. But if someone drops in the Discord and I get a chance to take a look at it and it seems appealing, honestly, the answer is if I look at it and it triggers my dopamine, yes. Because that's what I follow, bro. 79 Juno, there are jets that can go Mach 1 to 6 without sonic boom. Look into it, seen it. Interesting. Okay. My man's got a few secrets. 8U with a $50 super chat, which is I mean, you know they're big when they're red. My man, I appreciate you. Very generous. He says, I'm in Da Nang now. I'm making a future prediction that this is where you will settle. It has the food, which is all organic, great gyms, hot and cold pools. The people are beautiful. We have the Buddhist temples here, which is the biggest religion. Big love. Well, my man, if I was to let out a little secret, yeah, I am probably going to Da Nang. I already know that because that's where my dad is going. And I've seen the culture, bro. These people are up at 4 a.m. The beach is flooded at 4 a.m. before the sun is up. Everyone is out on the beach exercising. There's music pumping. People are just fucking like dancing, doing aerobics and stretching and running. And there's just music pumping. And like, that's just the culture there. Everyone just gets up and goes and hangs out at the beach. And then they go in for breakfast, go and have a little rest, go and chill out for a little bit for the middle of the day. And then when it gets a bit cooler in the evening, they all kind of come out again in the markets and they all kind of hang out. Like it is a different way of life. And it just seems so much more healthy, happy, real, the way we're meant to be. And yes, my dad has said that too. The food there is just so much more organic. You go to fish markets and like some of the fish are still alive. Sorry, vegans or whatever. But, my point is not that they're killing the fish, but they're fresh. And there's not sprayed with like L-theanine 7 and L-tarsenine 9 and all these fucking chemicals. And it's like, hey, bro, I just wanted a sandwich. I didn't ask for L-theanine 78 and fucking whatever this is. And he also put in another $5 chat and says the medical is fantastic here and way cheaper than back home. Yeah, so that story that I told earlier about my dad in a hospital, that was in Da Nang. And he said it was amazing. He said everyone was kind. He said, yeah, admittedly, like the facilities aren't as like high tech and sparkling new, but like the care and the absence of like bureaucracy and ridiculous rules of like visiting hours and not being able to see a family when you're unwell, gone. Like that's not a thing there because they're not retarded. Christine Rivera with $5 and a little sticker. Thank you very much, Christine. I appreciate you. Oh, and another one. Juno, he's just firing them off today. Tipping has got a bit ridiculous in the US, especially in the DC region. Yeah. So I don't remember it being as bad in Canada, but when I was in Hawaii, it was like, they were just baking the big tips into the bill. And I was like, okay. I didn't think you were that great, but all right. If that's how we're doing it, I guess that's what it is. Fuck the algae here in Adelaide. I miss my beach sessions. Yeah, that is a shame. I'm surprised I didn't get sick. I didn't know about that bad, to be honest. I didn't know it was that bad. And I made a video walking on the beach. Apparently, it's like absolutely cooking people. Hopefully, I'm okay. I seem to be so far, touch wood. Well, I mean, that's subjective. Some people might watch this channel and be like, we need to...
Get this man to a hospital, now!
But yeah, very subjective. Travel insurance, got it. You don't think your boy's organized? Come on. Come on, Lou. What are you talking about? We're organized, okay? I have, oh my God, we've been live for nearly 2 hours. Holy shit. I've just been yapping for 2 hours. Wow. Okay. We better head off soon because we got a movie to watch. But what was I about to say? Yes. I've invested a lot of money into taking this studio into a remote setup. Now, obviously, it's going to look different. I'm going to be in a different place, and I'm not going to have the exact same setup, but I still want to have the purple vibe, the dim lighting. You know, I want it to still feel like Polarity, and I really hope that I'm going to be able to do that. So, yeah, and a lot of people are saying, like, what are you going to do with this channel? Is it going to sync? Is it going to be the same? I've really put in time and research and money into making that so. Because, yes, I am pursuing a new venture with another channel, but I do not take for granted what made me, right? Where I come from, who helped make this channel. I wouldn't be able to do it without this channel. So, yeah, this is not going anywhere. Getting late here. Come on, Josh. All right. Yes, I'll fuck off. Yep. Sorry, I'll stop talking. We'll get out of here. Josh, do you have Suki sorted? Yes, we spoke about that earlier in the stream. So if you want to check that out, we're probably going to wrap up very shortly and head back and check that out. But have you got travel insurance, Josh? Yes, I have. I got that sorted. We're all set. We are honestly good to go. The only things I really need to do now is like sell my car and like cancel everything, like cancel my internet, cancel my phone, cancel my dumbass health insurance that I never use, cancel all this shit, and just wind everything down, dump a bunch of rubbish, store a couple of things that I don't want to let go of, and then we are hitting the road. Heidi, celebrating 9 months. Here for all the apps, monthly appreciation post. Thanks for taking us along with you on this journey, and I'm so excited to see where it goes. So am I. So am I. And I really have a good feeling about it. And, you know, I want to show you guys because I'm sure it's not all going to be sunshine and rainbows, okay? I know that there is downsides to living in other countries, especially less established, more third world countries. And I will try and show you guys that thing too. I want to show you guys those things. I want to, you know, keep it real and balanced. But I'm excited for it, and I really think if my vision comes to life the same way it has with this channel, I think it's going to be awesome. I think it's going to be so awesome, and I think it could be bigger than this channel. I really do, because I think at the end of the day, only a small amount of people, like comparatively, are interested in UFO. I mean, that's why we are talking about it, right? Because no one talks about it, as the great man once said. We're starting to talk about it because things are getting weird, but most people aren't. So just by the nature of that, the audience is not as big on Polarity. But if this channel goes how I want, I think it could go way bigger than this. I hope so anyway. I'm really excited for it, and I hope you guys enjoy coming along on the journey with me. But we still got a little while to go. We're 3 weeks out, so let's not get too ahead of ourselves. But I'll keep you guys updated along the way. And there's probably going to be 2 videos that come out on that channel, at least that's what I'm aiming for, before I actually leave. The third one, the second one being pretty much me going out the door. That's the plan. But get in Discord. We are about to go watch V, which is a documentary, okay, about the reptilians that came here and hijacked our world leaders. The link is below. It's free. Come and hang out. Be good, be kind, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Take care, and I'll see you in Discord.
Eventually people are going to say, what the hell is going on?
No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light in our galaxy. Everything. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.